and welcome to the John L. Sanders Show. Tonight we have two very special guests, Demario Scott and Sharon Willingham. And now, here's John L. Sanders.
Welcome folks. Welcome to the John L. Sanders Show. This show tonight is dedicated to Elder Malcolm Springer. Mr. Springer passed away this past Wednesday night, and his funeral will be sometime this week. I want to say Saturday, but I don't know where actually the funeral is going to be. Well, anyway, let's get to the tonight's show with Mr. Demario Scott. Got his name right. Okay, so here we go. Demario, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself, John?
All right, I'm doing great. I'm good to have you on the show tonight, and I just want everybody to know what you're doing, what your endeavors are, and what you're not doing, and what you plan to do. So let's start. Where are you from? You from Georgia, or what state are you from?
Born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia.
Born and raised in Georgia. What town or what county?
College Park.
College Park. Okay, a lot of Ludacris is from College Park. Mr. Luda, isn't he?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So tell me about yourself.
My name is Demario Scott. I was born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. I reside in Forest Park, Georgia right now. And it just feels good to be a part of this show.
Okay, great. So I know that you had started a few, actually some films and some TV episodes, today's TV segments, and one of them is the Have and Have Nots, right? So how's that coming along with that?
The Have and Have Nots, that was a very excellent experience. I had an opportunity to see myself on TV on the Tyler Perry Have and Have Nots. Matter of fact, it got one of the best ratings right now. So shout out to Tyler Perry for putting this production together. It's a very fun experience working with him.
Okay, great. So what made you go into acting? Is something you always wanted to do, or tell me more about that? It's something you had in your mind to do ever since you were young, or you just jumped into acting, or it just fell in your lap? Tell me, how did that go?
I would say acting basically fell into my lap.
Okay.
Yeah, it most definitely did. Especially, I got started last May into acting. I was introduced to the acting industry.
Okay.
And I got a chance to learn from so many people and get a chance to meet some of the cast directors. My very first movie I appeared in was called Breathe, directed by Charles Copeland.
Okay.
And got a chance to work with Tarjetta. And
That's Tarjetta Rose, folks.
got a chance to work with Algie, Al B. Reyes. Also Toya Sessions.
Toya Sessions, yeah, I know her, yes.
And it was Robin
Brown?
Brown.
Okay.
And
Well,
Michelle
was DeWitt a part of that as well?
Oh yeah, DeWitt. Oh
DeWitt,
yeah,
yes.
DeWitt.
Yes,
Oh,
Mr. DeWitt.
He's a very funny character to work with and to actually do some camera footage. Actually do a little directing as well.
That's DeWitt Jones, everybody.
With Jones.
Yes, DeWitt Jones. I need to get it right because I don't want DeWitt to come back and beat me up.
Yeah, he's most definitely a character. He loves watching Sanford and Son. So.
Okay. All right. Shout out to DeWitt. Let me ask you one other question. So, is this an ongoing thing with the Have and the Have Nots? Are you a character actor? Tell me more about that.
Working on the Have and Have Nots. Coming on. I'm working as a background actor right now.
Okay.
On the Have and Have Nots, and I'm looking to work on many Tyler Perry films, TV shows such as the Have and Have Nots and Love Thy Neighbor, or any other Tyler Perry production. So I'm looking forward to see how well advanced I'm gonna be able to work with Tyler Perry in the future, maybe be in some of his movies or something.
There you go. So, how did you actually get in contact with them? Did they call you? Did you send out your bio to them? How did that become?
I just basically sent out an email submission to some of his assistants, and from that point on, it just took off from there.
Oh wow!
So I was very excited about it because Tyler Perry was one of the persons that I really wanted to meet, and just to have the opportunity to work with him after praying about it for maybe some months.
Okay.
I got a chance to work with him, so it's a very exciting experience to work with him.
Okay, so all of that is filmed at the studio right here in Atlanta, right?
Yeah, Tyler Perry Studios.
Okay, okay. And tell me about, I know you're graduating pretty soon, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
Okay, tell the folks what's your major, what school you're graduating from?
I'm very excited to graduate from South University. It's a school that resides in Savannah, Georgia. I've been around since 1919. And I've been there at the school 3 years now, so I'm getting my bachelor's degree in healthcare management.
There you go.
And I just finished up a class last week where 5 weeks strong, I kept a perfect score in the class. So I'm very excited about having 100% in the class in 5 weeks.
Right, I know your family excited, your mother and father, I know they're very excited, right?
Oh, they're very excited.
Good.
They always told me, anything that you put your mind to, just do it. Just don't give up. Just be, just go in there and give it your all.
Right.
And once you give it your all, then you'll be able to see a better results in everything that you're doing.
Wow. See that folks, this man's an actor, and plus he's going to school to get a bachelor's degree. So I mean, if he can do it, you can do it. I mean, we all can do things.
Yeah. So it's the countdown moment now.
Right. So when's that big day when you graduate?
June 28th.
Okay. Do I get
June
I know I get a ticket, right? I know I get a
Oh,
ticket,
yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I'll
yeah.
be in Savannah. I'm gonna be in Savannah.
Oh yeah, it's gonna
Right.
it's gonna be, as they say, off the chain
Right.
down there in Savannah. So we're gonna party down in Savannah, come back to Atlanta a week later, and party some more.
Okay, Erica, you coming, right?
Sure, I love Savannah.
All right, Erica's gonna hang out with us down there.
Yeah, this is matter of fact, this is my second time going to college, so this is my last time going.
At least you're coming out with paper this time.
I'm coming out with paper.
All right, all right.
Working with big corporations.
There you go, there you go. And tell me about some other things you're working on as well.
Well, we just finished talking about TV sets. I
Yeah,
just finished up a commercial with
Mhm.
Prudential,
Mm-hmm.
which aired a week before the Super Bowl.
Okay, wow.
So it was a Prudential commercial. I had an opportunity to work with a very important casting agency down there in
Okay.
Savannah, and I got a chance to appear in the Prudential commercial with a young lady by the name of Renee Thomas.
Oh, wow.
So I had a chance to work with her and work with John B. Wanza
Okay.
in the commercial.
Sounds like Savannah got it going on down there, wow.
Well, it's slowly booming down
Mhm.
there. It's slowly booming, but it's about to rise up like Atlanta.
Okay, wow.
So as much as they put studios all across the surrounding areas, it's going to be a great experience.
So just putting studios together and done. And aren't you, you got a play coming up maybe too, right?
Yeah, stage play. It just amazes me that everything is just falling into place for me. For just things coming in place. So I'm be doing my first stage play called Damnation, directed and produced by Russell Tyson.
Wow.
So
This guy's amazing. I'm telling you, this guy's amazing. We had a good time at the state capitol. A couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
We had a ball down there. Demario met with Senator Vincent Ford. And we ran into a couple of meals down there. We had a good time down there. We had a good time. He met and hung out with me, 3-4 hours?
Yeah, 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, we
Want
had
to
a
meet Miss Donzella.
Yep, came down to meet Senator Donzella. So we had a good time. We had a very good time.
Right.
Wow. So what are your plans? You plan to, you're here in Atlanta. You plan to go to Hollywood next? What's the next stop?
Well, I'm taking it day by day at a time.
Right, okay.
To see how things progress. The final result is always made by God.
Right.
And with Him in it, it's a lot of opportunities and possibilities
Right.
out here for me to be able to go to the next level. So you might see me at this level right now.
Hey,
I'm about
you're at a level.
I'm
You're at a
about
level.
I'm about to move up.
Right. Because if you look at the whole thing, there's some people that's still at that first step,
Mm-hmm.
and you're already at the top step already. Not all the way up, but you're there. You're there. Some
Exactly.
people that haven't even made a commercial yet.
Exactly.
Some people haven't been even. Some people have submitted their stuff to different studios that haven't even had a response yet.
Right.
So it's good for me to know you that hey, you're climbing the ladder. You're climbing the ladder there.
Yeah, I also have 3 big films that I had worked in last year. one of them just aired on TV March 8th, called The Trip to Bountiful.
Okay.
With Cicely, Tyson.
Oh wow, you was in that one too?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Blair
What
Underwood.
network was that on?
It's on Lifetime.
Lifetime. Wow, Lifetime. That's a big network.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is.
Kiki Palmer and Vanessa Williams.
Oh, wow. I'm gonna have to look up that to see if I can find it on Netflix or something. Or
yeah.
Lifetime.
Yeah.
Wow, wait.
Yeah, so it was a pleasure working with Cicely Tyson. That was another person that I wanted to work with long time ago. So, but just being able to be right on schedule to work with her, it was a very fun experience being on set with her.
Wow, that's a real experience. Some people don't even have the experience of meeting anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, here I have the experience of you on my show, so I'm happy to have Demario here on my show.
Yeah, and then I have some other movies like Get On Up with Chad Boswick, and got a chance to meet Dan Aykroyd, Jill Scott.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was fun being down there in Mississippi, filming the movie down in auditorium that they have down there in Jackson. So it was a very fun experience too.
Oh, look at Demario, he's everywhere. He's everywhere. We have to catch her tune. Hi, Erica. Wow, that's so awesome. Oh,
and then the matter of fact, that movie's coming out September 1st.
Okay.
In theaters, so get a chance to watch that.
Okay, so when that movie comes out before September, come back on the show so you can pump it up.
Oh yeah, and
right.
then the final movie that just wrapped up is called Rabbits.
Okay. Oh yeah, by R. Michelle.
R. Michelle.
R. Michelle Wood, something like that.
R. Michelle Wood.
Wow,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I had a opportunity to be a part of that project.
Okay.
I was very excited when she first came up with the idea of making a movie, and she thought of me, and I said, okay, well, I can be in this movie.
Right.
Whatever character you want me to play, I'll play it. And from that point on.
And when does that movie come out?
That movie's coming out May 1st.
May 1st.
We,
let these folks know.
Oh yeah, May 1st. Check out Rabbits. It's a movie directed by R. Michelle, and it's a horror movie. It's our first horror movie / thriller. And so we're gonna do our premiere May 1st, in the location area somewhere in Atlanta.
Okay,
so
that's
right now we in the process of selling tickets now.
Okay, great.
To the movie. So it's very exciting experience.
Wow, that's very exciting. I know R. Michelle, she works hard. She works.
Yeah, she works extremely hard.
Yeah.
Extremely hard.
Well, R. Michelle, if you watch the show, give me a call. Give me a call so we can get you down here so you can promote your show, okay? If you see her, tell her give me a call.
Oh yeah, I told her earlier today when we had a conversation. I said, be honest with you, I know that everybody else giving you a shout out on other radio stations, but I told her, I said most definitely when I come on your show, I'm just gonna give her a shout out. So shout out to you, Michelle. Thanks for everything, and the great cast members, everybody. And Rodney Perry's in this movie.
Rodney Perry too?
Yeah, he's in this movie.
Wow, you got to, hey, Michelle, give me a shot, because I can snap my collars as well. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, how can they find you? How can they find you? On Facebook, Twitter?
You can find me on Facebook, Demario Scott. I'm the only guy that probably might be at the top with the shades on.
Okay.
I am on Instagram, King Mario 27.
King Mario 27, Instagram, folks.
Yeah, so I'm on the social networking that I'm on right now.
Okay.
And it's gonna get bigger.
Okay. Yeah, you gotta get that Twitter too. Get that Twitter.
Oh, I got Twitter.
You got the Twitter?
I got Twitter too. I just don't utilize Twitter like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but Twitter's it's a good tool.
It's a good tool to conversate with some major stars.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Just Facebook and Instagram, right?
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Okay. All right, come on.
King Mario 27 as well.
There you go, King Mario 27. Okay, but I'm glad you stopped by, and anytime problem. You can stop by and come down the show, visit me anytime, okay?
Okay.
Especially when the next movie's coming out, even when the show's getting ready to come out and have night, come on down a week ahead so these folks can see you on TV, okay?
Most definitely.
Okay, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Did we give a shout out to
give me a shout out.
I want to give a shout out to John L. Sanders.
That's me.
I want to give a shout out to everybody's here. Everybody, other projects that I have worked on in the past, I want to give a shout out to. And I want to give a shout out to Zippy Carter, Renee Thomas. So many people I want to give a shout out to, but it's a very motivating experience to work with everybody, and you know, as opportunities progress, you know, it gets bigger.
Okay.
You know, from here.
All right. Hello, my name is John Sanders again. I came to talk to you about Robert Calmise. Robert Calmise is a very good friend of mine. He is sick right now and he needs funding. So if you get a chance, go on Robert Calmise on Facebook and just read what he's going through. And his mother's name is Beverly Lowe. So when you get a chance, go on Robert Calmise or Beverly Lowe on Facebook. And you can read about what Robert Calmise is going to, what his surgery is like, and how his family needs some help. So again, my name is John L. Sanders. Thank you. We're back with the John L. Sanders Show with Sharon Willingham. How are you, Sharon?
All is well, John.
All is well? That's it, all is well?
Yes, highly favored, blessed. Can I go on?
All right, all right. Well, I'm glad you're here tonight, and I'm ready to get down and started to hear your story. Okay?
What would you like to know?
Well, I'd like to know what are some of your services and what are some of your programs?
Well, we have a program, well, our organization is called Directions Youth Family and Housing Services, which is a nonprofit organization that provides resources and information to the community.
Okay, great. And what are some of your services?
We don't do indirect services, but we provide information for as community, any community events, whether there's things people in need of, like health and wellness, just a variety of different services.
Okay. What are some of your services?
Well, we don't provide indirect services, but we work collaboratively with organizations that have the services. But our main goal is to have a center where people come in and they're able to get the information from various of organizations, and that they can go on the computer, we'll help them with their research, and get them the information that's needed for the services that they do need.
Okay. So for instance, if someone is homeless, or someone looking for housing, or someone looking for transportation, or a referral for any doctors, something that is those some of the services you provide?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
We will be providing that information for them so that they can get the information and then go out to the community themselves and get it. So we're just a vehicle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, can you name a few of the services you provide or you refer people to?
One will be like the social services. It would be domestic violence, health and wellness. So if someone needs a doctor's appointment or if they need doctor's care, we would provide that service for them.
Okay. How about anything that deals with mental health?
Yes, that is correct too. We also will have mental health providers that they can actually go to. We are working to actually coordinate with them so they can refer if they need a referral. So we'll do that.
Okay. So since mental health is on the menu on that, let's talk a little about mental health, because mental health is something that I'm going to let everybody know, something I deal with, like depression. You know, depression is a very touchy subject. It's like, to me personally, depression is something that I dealt with years ago. Sometimes it sneaks up the back of you and just bites you at any time. And depression is like, it's an illness. It's not something anybody can catch, but it's an illness where you get depressed. So could you just elaborate more about it, and I could just go into what some of the things that people should look out for?
Sure, we all deal with depression, and I want to piggyback off of you, John, because I myself dealt with depression when I went through domestic violence in my marriage. So I dealt with it, and I had to find out how can I get some resources and how can I get healed from this. So I wanted to define what depression is. And according to studies, depression is caused by a trigger or a stressful event. Examples are death, childhood trauma, divorce, etc. But this particular subject I want to talk about is one type of depression in particular, post-traumatic stress disorder. And this is a leading cause of homeless as well. So I'm going to talk a little bit about homeless because that's one of the supportive programs that we're developing now through our organization for housing. So I just want to define PTS a little bit more. It is an anxiety disorder that can occur after any individual has experienced a traumatic event, particularly those that include the threat of an injury or death. The actual cause is unknown as the reason why a particular event is traumatic for individuals. The actual cause is unknown as the reason why a particular event is traumatic for some individual but not others, or why a particular traumatic event leads to PTS in some individual but not others. What is known is that PTS changes the body's response to stress by affecting the stress hormones and the chemicals that carry information between the nerves. Just want to give you some statistics. According to the U.S. National Library of Medicine, symptoms of PTS fall into 3 main categories. Revealing the event, which disturbs day-by-day activities, including, for example, flashbacks and nightmares. Avoidance, including emotional numbing and feeling detached, and aroused, which might include difficulty concentrating, sleep disturbance, and outbursts of anger and almost other symptoms. Any individual with this history of trauma may be more susceptible to experience PTS from a future traumatic event. Symptoms of PTS may not appear for weeks, even months after the triggering trauma event.
Wow.
That's a handful of it.
That's a handful and a mouthful. I tell you, that means dealing with something like that is very traumatic, and especially if you have a spouse that's trying to help you out with that situation, you know. And because dealing with depression, it's a lot of medication you take. I mean, some people take Paxil, some people take Wellbutrin. I mean, and just imagine those 2 medications clashing together to trying to make your day go as smoothly as possible. Am I right or wrong?
Correct.
So, I mean, I had took Paxil at one time, and to me, it just messed my whole day up. I mean, you feel like you're in a tunnel, number one, and you can't really think for yourself, and it's like you're one of the zombies from The Walking Dead. Your body works in a normal way, but it seems like your brain is just stuck. So, I mean, dealing with that, I mean, that's something that's horrible to me.
Well, most people too say that the medication makes them even worse than what they are. But my recommendation is to seek spiritual counseling and get someone that knows not anything to keep away from medication, because we know that some of the medications have so many side effects. And so that if you can avoid the medications will be the most important thing. So getting Christian counseling would be my first recommendation.
Yeah, because some of that medication, they have sexual side effects as well. I mean, I'm just going to be all adults here. I mean, you can take that medication, and I mean, you can be on third base for a long time. I mean, you can be on third base for an hour and a half and never make it home. I'm just being real about that. But I mean, it could mess up your sex life. I mean, it could mess up your appetite. I mean, some people gain weight, some people don't eat. I mean, and then it's a time when you're driving, you can't even concentrate on the road, because there's been times when I was driving, and I stopped at a red light. This guy came to me and told me, "Hey, you okay?" I said, "Yes." And the reason why he was saying that, I sat at the red light 3 times and the light changed over. I didn't move because I was in like a zombie comatose. And that medication can, really, it could put you in a world of trouble.
And that's why I say other alternatives other than medication, because if you read all of medications, they'll say all these different side effects. Yeah. So the side effects sometimes make people worse than what the actual disorder themselves. So other alternatives is my recommendation, Christian counseling, just something where you don't have to take those medications.
Right. I mean, I'm just talking from a personal point of view. I stopped taking them because I couldn't function. I mean, I just couldn't function. I mean, to me, again, me sitting at home watching TV, I would actually watch it. It seemed like I was watching TV, but basically I was like in the zone. I was in the zone, and the TV was basically watching me. But I stopped taking it, and I've been just talking to my pastor about so many different things, and just trying to work it out the best I can. Because I was in a depression state. Matter of fact, last week I almost didn't do the show, but I came on and did the show anyway. But because I have a responsibility to do. But these medications can really mess you up. So it's best, before you take the medication, find out the side effects. There can be so many side effects. You can get heart disease. I mean, you can gain weight again. There's so much steroids in this stuff. I mean, you just got to be careful what you're taking.
And John, there also is local supported groups here in Douglasville too
Right.
that do that. So I can provide you with that information to get in support groups, because you're not the only one that's going through there. There's a lot of people that are experiencing depression. I was one, and there was some literature that I recommend to get that help, because one of the things is you want to identify what's going on, and a lot of times it is things that happen in our childhood. Even me, even though I was the victim of domestic violence, but also there were things that triggered in my childhood. Why was I doing what I did? Why did I stay in my marriage as long as I did, knowing that it was painful and these things that I experienced. So we all deal with depression.
Right.
One way or another, someone has dealt with some type of depression, because we know it's due to a loss, a death. So someone has dealt with some type of depression. One way or
Okay.
another.
Wow, Erica, you have any questions about?
Oh, no, I'm good. I'll ask my questions afterwards.
Okay, Mr. Demario got a question out there.
Oh, I don't have a question, but I had dealt with depression before for a certain amount of years, but it's just mainly through reading a lot of inspirational books like Joy Osteen and Joyce Myers, because what I learned was I was having like a battlefield in my mind.
Right.
And it was just, things were just attacking me so much at the time, and it was a lot of stuff I didn't want to let go within me. But once I decided to read the books, it mainly straightened that problem right out.
And I like to piggyback off of him, because I myself did the same thing. I recommend that, and there are several books that I recommend you reading by some Christian authors or inspirational authors, because it is important, because these people have been through. There's one in particular that she has actually been through this and actually went into a mental institute, drove herself there. But she knew that she was not meant, what they call mental, she was going to hurt herself, but the fact that she knew she was dealing with something inside. And so she got the help she needed in terms of with her condition. But that will help a lot of people reading those books, support groups, and also an individual counseling, Christian counseling as well.
Well, I try to be around positive people, and I try to stay happy. Seriously, I try to stay happy. Everybody that knows me, I'm always smiling. I'm always around people that's doing positive things, and I mean that's the way I cure myself. But I know I need to do more.
Yes, you just have to be around people who are experiencing it currently,
Right.
but still around positive people, because everything does start in the mind. The warfare is in the mind. So what we think is what we act out. So we have to say to ourselves that we are, whatever. With your affirmations are the most important thing in any in healing. Any Christian psychologist will tell you, if you start speaking certain things to you in your spirit man, it begins to resonate. So.
Wow. You hear from Sharon? Yeah. Okay, let's turn the wheel on. Let's talk about domestic violence. So let's hear more about how you struggled and how you overcame that.
Well, like I said earlier, it was something that I didn't realize that I stayed in so long.
How long did you stay in?
27 years.
Long time ago.
So I know a lot of people ask me why, and one of the things I tell people is that I stayed in for many reasons. Most of the time, the most two common reasons are fear and financial. So But I also, once I decided that I wanted to divorce, I wanted to find out what was the dynamics behind why did I do what I did. And it's called codependency. A lot of women will live with codependency, or men too, because there's some men that go through domestic violence, not just women. So
Right.
there's men that go through domestic violence. But it's a codependency, and it starts in our childhood. So I had to go back and refine what was happening to me in my childhood. One of the books that helped me is by Robin Norwood. She's a psychologist, and she talks about women who love too much. And once I got a hold of why I was doing what I was doing, I wanted to change that, and I wanted to be healed from it. So it's about being healed. So I wanted to be healed, and I started going back in my childhood and looking back at the dynamics that was in my childhood. And it follows even my mother. My mother and father was also, my father was abusive to my mother to a certain extent. And I started looking at her life, and then I started comparing it to my life, and I was like, wow, this is very amazing. So just like with the abuser, my ex-husband, when I went back into his life, the same thing, he saw these things occur in his life. So now it's a domino effect. So you have two individuals that are coming together that have childhood issues. And so, but the most important thing with me is for me to get healed, so that the next relationship that I am, I can know the warning signs, and I know right offhand this isn't a healthy relationship for me.
So while this was going on, did he always say he was sorry, or, I mean, like, let's go back to the beginning. When it happened, when the situation happened, did it happen this one time he said he wasn't going to do it again, or did you forgive him, or it just kept on going?
Well, I forgave him many times because it's been 27 years.
Yeah.
So, but there's a lot of dynamics in the 27 years. We're talking about adultery, different things that go on in the marriage, which creates a hostile type of environment. But yes, they have that will, the domestic violent will. That's just how it is. Every day you live that will. One minute he's remorseful, then the next minute tension builds up, and then the next minute he's calling you names. That will is your life.
So in the beginning, did he hit you that first time, the beginning, the very first time?
Yeah, it was several months after we got married.
So that was that. Okay, so he hit you that one time, you forgave him?
Right. And I forgave him, and then it just started to chain reaction. So.
Okay, so the beginning, he hit you that very first time, you forgave him. Let's go all the way to the end when you just like, enough is enough. What happened?
Well, what happened, the last time, it was very stressful, and that's another thing, dealing with stress and anxiety, and it causes depression, and then also your physical body starts to shut down, and that's what happened. I could feel myself either about to have a heart attack or a stroke. I couldn't even hold my head up. I was severely tired, so I knew that this was unhealthy. Either I was going to die from that type of stress. So that's when I decided that it was very unhealthy, and we decided, well, I asked him to move out,
So did he just moved out, or
yes.
you had to get him out, remove him?
Well, I prayed. This particular time we prayed, and I didn't have to do that he left, and then from there it was the process of healing. But the time before that, no, he did put up a fight.
So basically it was like mainly physical, mental, and verbal abuse as well, too.
Oh, all the above, yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So did that make you get a nonprofit to help others as well, or you had the nonprofit while you was going through that?
Well, the nonprofit stemmed out of because I'm a philanthropist. I believe in helping people. I believe in giving back to the community. And one of the things is there are so many resources out there for people, and people don't need. And when I needed resources, I dug and I found out all the resources that I need. And a lot of people don't have that information. They don't even know where to start.
Right, they don't.
So it was birthed out of a need and what I already do as a philanthropist. And so.
Okay. And what other services do you have? I mean, I know you help people with housing transition. How does that work?
Yes, one of the supporting programs that we were developing now is a housing program, which is one of the main reasons of why I started Directions. I am a realtor as well, and I believe in everyone should have an opportunity for home ownership.
Okay.
So, but there also is a lack of housing, as we know. So we're working on that component so that we can provide some more housing, affordable housing for the low to moderate income.
Okay, great. And I know earlier last week we met with Sam Davis, the councilman, to get you immaculated to meet other people as well, right?
Yes, with the housing program,
Mhm.
and I believe God is going to open up that door very soon in terms of financial support, the program, the vision was already there. I'm expecting, my goal this year is to do 50 houses,
Okay,
50
wow.
affordable houses.
Hey, can I get one of those houses?
Sure. Be qualified.
Hey.
Oh, by the way, there is a qualification process.
Man. Oh, man. Oh, wow. Well, maybe we can get together with Senator Donzella and get you immaculated with, who's that, Kimberly Alexander as well, the state representative, so maybe you can go further in your endeavors.
Sure. One of the ones particularly that I really want to help out from first, not to say that we're not going to help people, is women in domestic violence,
Okay.
because they have suffered such a traumatic experience, and most women
Wait a second. This is the women. What about the men? Hey, there's some,
and men. I'm sorry.
yeah, help
men
us guys
too.
out. You know, might be some guys.
Forgive
You know,
me,
hey.
forgive me, John. That's right, because men are affected.
Yeah,
So
for the men.
men and women who are affected by domestic violence.
Mhm.
I'm sorry, John.
It's
You're
okay,
right.
okay. You know, there's some men that say, you know.
So
Yeah.
most of the time, what happens is they have to leave their home,
Mhm.
and so they have to leave everything and go to shelters, and so they have to rebuild their lives. So we want to help them because they're the first that we want to rebuild their lives. And we know that when children are in a stable home, they're more likely to succeed in education.
Okay, what if somebody out there is right now going through a situation, they're being, let's say, abused or going through a domestic violence situation? Could they contact you?
Yes, you can contact me. You can go into our website and fill out the information, and then we will, we'll follow up within 24 hours.
Okay. And do you help people? Do you, what's that word? There was one lady that was actually, I don't want to call the word saving people, but I forgot the name you call it. When, for instance, if a woman's in trouble, she'll go out there and get them. I forgot what word to call it. But anyway, for instance, if a lady calls you or if a man calls you in some kind of situation, they need some help right away, do you go out there and help them right away, or do you refer them to a hotline, or how does that work?
Well, I'll refer to a hotline. I'm working on doing some indirect services with them.
Oh, that's awesome.
Of course, we have to be mindful that that's why the police department's there, because
Right.
we don't know what situation we're coming on, although I will assist them and go out there with them.
Right.
But there are situations where you don't want to put yourself in danger.
Right.
So we work collaboratively with the police department and the other organizations for that.
So, for instance, if a woman or man is going through a situation right now, they want to get out the house, what's the most important credentials they need with them if they're leaving? For instance, like their social security card?
Yes, they don't need all the important documents, because it's a list. If you go on the website, the hotline, because if you're directed to the hotline, they'll tell you the actual steps on how to come out of the situation and what we need.
Okay.
And a lot of times, sometimes you can't even get out of the situation, but it's there for you if you need information.
Well, I'm not trying to be funny. I will get out of that situation. I'll call somebody to come pick me up. Because, I mean, sometimes it's not healthy to stay in that situation. But if you can get a chance to get away, I say get away. I mean, call the police.
Statistics of it is that at least 80% of them have to leave everything. And they can't get out of the situation because the person has been so violent. So that's why you have to strategically sometimes strategize, how do I get out of the situation?
Right.
So there's certain precautions that the individuals have to take in order to leave as well, John.
All right. So, do you have any more services you want to talk about? Anything else you want to talk
Just to sum it up, we're in need of a building.
about? Okay.
So we're looking for sponsors, we're looking for someone if they want to donate a building. We definitely need a building so that we can actually be able to have that information. We're going to have computers there. We also want to have other direct providers there on site.
Right.
And then also we want to have an educational component where people can come in and get educated on various things, which is financial literacy. We'll have some housing components as well.
Well, do you have a website they can go to?
Yes, www.directionsyhsf.org.
Okay, you have a Facebook page or Twitter page they can contact you
I
as well?
do. It's Twitter is Sharon Willingham Directions YHFS.org.
Okay, okay. And you can look at the bottom of the screen. You can see it at the bottom of this screen. Okay, Sharon, thanks for being here.
You're quite welcome.
Okay, you can come back on the show anytime, especially when you get those buildings up, get your funding going. Come back and we can do a fundraiser together. How about that?
Sure. We can do that now.
Oh, okay. Hey. Okay.
Thank you, John, for having me.
Okay, thank you. I want to thank Demario for coming on out now. I want to thank Sharon Willingham for coming on out. I would like to thank my main man, Deacon Rob from Greater Mount Olive Overcomer Church for coming out. So stay tuned, everybody. Get ready for the cast and crew. We're about to do the happy dance.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sometimes she's here, you can take a break. Hot air balloon like a ghost face. With the air, like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm happy, come along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy, come along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy, come along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy, come along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come that news, talking this and that. Give me all you got, don't hold it back. Well, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. No offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why. Because I'm happy, come along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy, come along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Because I'm happy, come along if you know what happiness is to you. Because I'm happy, come along if you feel